Hello Virgo, and welcome to your October reading. So let's start. Guys, make sure you also check your ascendant and check your moon sign. This is kind of like giving you more information in a general reading. Like, of course, if you want your own reading, contact me at cattarot.ca. And if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe and click on notification. Also, if you're a subscriber, click on notifications, so that way you can get these notifications when I release new videos, because YouTube is messing it up and kind of like dealing with it is kind of tough. This card actually jumped through. I need to tell you, this is the card about the direction, positioning, vision, dreaming, planning. Even though it's wand, this is sort of like up your alley and kind of like up things that you kind of like really want to do. All right, so let's jump right in. I have to do it and trying to do it in that algorithm, to get back on track. So you have Eight of Swords. This is like one of those two blindfolded cards, and this is, look how tricky this is. The kitty is like up in a tree crown and trying to get down, and it's not only that you have to go down, and like if you know anything about cats, they go up no problem. They kind of like go down even without a blindfold. They're all freaked out. It just kind of like looks bad, and to kind of like make it even worse, they're like all of these freaking swords. So this is always talking about a situation of being stuck, but I also see that as a protective box. So when you're in some kind of like protective box, what is really happening then is that things are really not, like your ego cannot make things work, even though I know like we want what we want when we want it. But it's really saying, okay, something is brewing, something cannot happen. So I see this card very, very commonly coming through when, for example, somebody is still in a situation that needs to be resolved. Whether this is like a bad, let's say, work environment, or let's say somebody's in a relationship or a marriage that has to reach its kind of like finality and fizzle out, or certain things need to be addressed, so it's not still ready to be closed, and hence maybe there's like no communication, maybe there's like some kind of distance, maybe you're hoping to hear from somebody, and that somebody is like maybe, let's say, very weak or exhausted or just cannot deal with that issues right now, so hence nothing is happening, but you're being protected. Instead of like you forging forward and demanding the answer would be negative, but being kind of held like that, it's just saying, okay, let's let this decision kind of like percolate a little bit longer and see how it works out. So this is also a card about kind of like moving forward. Like, you're getting swords so far. Swords are always about our thoughts, and we are getting a visitor. You're getting a good luck charm, right, Jeffy? Do you love Virgos? How much? That much? That much? Yes, you came to visit this month. Did you not? Did you not? Can I continue reading for Virgos? Huh? Yes. Do you love Virgos? How much? So Virgos, this is like pretty much it, right? So the kitty cat is like tired of bickering or everything that is going on. They're like just saying, okay, just let's move. Like, I need a different environment. I need to go in a different situation. So what is happening? This is a stage number 6. Then in stage number 7, like, the kitty crosses on the other side with hopes everything will be better, and then somebody takes advantage of you. Everything that you have, everything that you think is going to be new, is just being taken away from you. So then you feel stripped naked, then you feel taken advantage of, and hence you don't really know what to do. You're feeling like there were just two options, the accesses both options, and nothing really worked, right? This goes like the other way around. It's almost like, feels like you're stepping back from the situation and you're saying, okay, you need to deal with your own crap, and I need to kind of like address what I have. And right now I do not see certain situation moving forward, so hence I need to take care of myself and, let's say, my kids, and something that is really precious and valuable over here. Yeah, you see, this is being crossed with some heartache. There is like some kind of like pain in the situation, and Virgo, I'm really sorry to hear that. And this is going to be really intensified now during the Mercury retrograde, which rules your sign, which is really affecting us severely. It's already affecting us in a pre-shadow, and is going to enter the full kind of like retrograde on the 13th of October. It's going to last all the way until the November 3rd, and it's going to be post-shadow. So if you really think, for me, most of the stuff happens in a pre-shadow, because it's almost like when you put the water to boil, all of that stuff that is happening before it boils up. Sure, the boiling is kind of like stuff that is dangerous, but it's also could be more dangerous that basically you are still thinking that you're okay before this all kind of like gets to that point. So you will need lots of self-care. You might be dealing with this third party, like this keeps coming through. This is a third party card, this is a third party card, and this is the third party card. So it cannot be it cannot be interpreted the other way. So you're moving away from a situation that even has a whiff of, you know what, like, I mean, I have to fight with something or somebody. It could be somebody's work, or somebody's always with their friends, and somebody has like all these great family obligations, so you're seeing person once a month, kind of like a thing, and you're just like not thinking this is really conducive to kind of like anything being successful, because you're saying, if this person really likes me or wants to be with me, this wouldn't be happening. And again, you're being kept to observe the situation, almost like feels like torture, because this is like now coming through all the sources. Could be words that are not spoken, that have been spoken, and they're still lingering in the air, and almost like there is no communication in the situation right now. But you have Knave of Chalices. Either there's like somebody new coming through, or you're having lots of flashbacks, thinking back about the good times and about things that actually really worked, and somebody who romanced you, right? Knave of Chalices is kind of like this very innocent, and somebody who you really want to take under your wing, and somebody who you perceive to be very, very honest, right? And hence they really easily penetrate our system. And you have a King of Wands. So both of them are upright. So King of Wands is, this person could be married, but it could be somebody you have been with. It could be somebody who is very proud. It could be that was some kind of like argument in a situation, kind of like resulted in a flop. It could be that somebody has a family situation that involves a child, that kind of like they put on the forefront and put you kind of like on a back burner, and saying like, I mean, what makes you think that they're going to enter your life and I'm going to be like, I mean, on the back burner? Like, you know how some people, you know, you enter a relationship and people tell you, oh, I love my kids more than anything in my life. So right away, either they're like horrible on communication, and they cannot understand that you're a new person, you have potential of being very important in their life, and that at the very least you will probably keep equal kind of like footing as the kids, right? Maybe not initially while everything is forming, but that's where you should be heading. But like, I mean, somebody to relegate you to kind of like, I mean, subordinate position right away, I guess that's going to be where you will be more vocal, because you're like more attuned to certain kind of like things this month. You see, it is like you have won some battle. You kind of like, you fought like, I mean, tooth and nail for something, and like somebody is trying to take this away from you, somebody's trying to convince you it's not the way it is, and you're saying, no, it's exactly the way it is. I'm not letting go, and this is kind of like how it needs to be. Interestingly, you kind of like have this middle of the road 6, 7, 8 kind of like situation. So something is already in the process over here. It's not something completely fresh. And you see, there is like, it's another 8, and 8s connect to commitments or lack of it, right? So this one was going away, and this one will be going away, but it came reversed. So this is now coming back. So maybe you are kind of like leaving some situation, but you're coming back to it, or maybe somebody else is coming back to it. This is now emotional component. This is kind of like thoughts. It's kind of like something that needs to be expressed and clarified. Kind of like it's a bigger picture if you wish, but this would be kind of like that people who say heart wants what the heart wants. Yeah, I really want this guy. I know he's beating me and I still want him. It's really hard to kind of counsel people like that, right? And kind of like here it is, like, I mean, people who just don't or can't speak about it. Sometimes people are under such a severe stress that they just nothing comes through because they feel they're going to just like unglue and fall apart if they even say a word. This is your own house. Look at it. Now there's almost like a repeat of it. Like there is like, I mean, you have your back up, but this is like also setting boundaries. You're really setting firm boundaries. It can be playful. It can be kind of like more harsh than that. It could involve quite a bit of people that are kind of like part of the situation, but you're like really insisting that, you know, I know what I need, I know what I want, and I do respect you, but I also insist that you need to respect me, and it's going to be non-negotiable whatsoever. In the environment, and what you're demanding from environment and people around you will actually respond in kind, is like that you want to sort things out. There's like yet another 8, so 8, and this is really taking us back to Lionsgate. So something that brewed around the 8th of August, or maybe you're kind of like connecting to this like sign of Leo, or something that has been happening during the summer. That kind of like talks about commitment and talks about some kind of like negotiation and talks about diplomacy, right? Like, I mean, is it the real strength lifting, like, I mean, something really heavy, or is it the real strength sometimes even being completely silent and kind of like winning a battle through kind of like finesse, right? So this is like kind of like somebody coming through with so there is like this finality that you really want. There's like finally happening. You're like maybe patiently waiting, and I'm surprised the Temperance didn't come through. It came through for so many other signs, or Hermit, because that was the theme, and you're the last sign I'm reading in this installment. So, but there you go. You're getting some kind of like finality, and you know what this means? That you have been put through kind of like thorns and coals for a reason. That was a lesson to be learned, and now it's done. You have learned something and it's over. Like, this is falling in your hopes and fears. So I guess there's like still hesitation that something is not going to culminate in kind of like this big success and resolution of the problem, but you're hoping it will. And the World card is like kind of half karma card because it's really happening right now. So the entire month is going to have that intensity and the presence, especially when we push to Scorpio. So for you, it's going to be just about a day before that, October 22nd, so October 21st, that intensity is going to start working out, and you're going to feel actually much better about how you express yourself and which direction you go, and it's going to be kind of easier to either let go of something or kind of like put an end to it. You just like come into this boundary setting, saying this cannot go the way it was. So for example, you maybe have been dealing with somebody who has somebody else on the side, or you had somebody else, and this is it, no more, it has to be this way. So this can cost your relationship. I'm not going to, you know, tell you otherwise, but this can also set the stage that you're going to fight for what you want, you're going to set your boundaries, and yes, you can leave. So you're actually really establishing a healthy attitude toward that, with kind of like inviting other people to meet you to something that is really comfortable in order for things to work out. Overall, how it started, I think it's really ending well. I really like that I'm seeing that really healthy attitude. You're not allowing somebody to bully you, to gaslight you, to push kind of like things on you. You're like really saying, this is what I need, and I will insist on it, even if this costs me tears, even if this costs me pain. And again, these two cards are really talking about some internal healing, that you need to speak some words. And if you need to release, the best times to release will be to write a letter on October 1st, when is the full moon in Aries, or October 31st, or both. October 31st is full moon in Taurus, and then you need to burn it, like, I mean, outside in the moonlight, and just kind of like release certain things, right? So is this kind of like a good time for that to do, especially the full moon in Taurus for you, and Halloween, and that kind of like will be connecting with that theme. And it is a time, guys, for you to start completely new chapter in your life, and it's going to be really, really good one, because you have absolved something that was really difficult to absolve. So buckle up, Virgo. It's going to be turbulent, but you will be successful. So all the best. Check my Instagram for your daily tarot, or Facebook or Twitter. It's at Cat Tarot. And if you want a reading with me, cattarot.ca, or you have my email in description. And again, lastly, don't forget to check your sun sign, moon sign, and ascendant, because all together kind of gives you more messages. Love you. All the best. And have a wonderful month.